Hi there, thanks for joining Elnaz Yoga 360 and thanks for supporting my videos. So I just want to do a short video dedicated to lower back muscles. So as we are sitting behind the chairs for long hours, lower back pain has become prevalent, and I wanted to do this video with few poses that is addressing those areas and basically strengthening as well as stretching those muscles. The only thing that you need is a strap, a yoga strap, and you can actually get it from Amazon or anywhere, which helps us with a part of the poses. When you're ready, just get on your mat and lie down on your mat. So the first pose is basically try to first hug the knees into your chest, if possible. And just stay here for 5 deep breaths. This is called Apanasana, hugging the knees into your chest. If you want, you can also sway yourself to the right and left a little bit. You will definitely feel the areas of your lower back that is touching the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. And then very gently now lift your shins up. This is a reverse tabletop. So you're lifting your shins up like a 90-degree and your shins are parallel to the floor. With your hands, you can grab the sides of your mat as a help, as a support. And then very gently keep the shape and the bend of your knees as it is and start to lower your, basically your feet closer to the floor and then bring them back up. If it's too much, if you feel that it's, it's a lot of work for you, you can actually lower them maybe halfway, bring them back up. And again, halfway, bring them back up. If you feel you can actually do more or go deeper, maybe lower them closer to the floor and then bring them back up. So this is a great practice that is not only working on the lower back muscles, but it's also partially working on the core muscles, the front of the body, and it's a strengthener. So you're basically stabilizing and strengthening your muscles, which is, to be honest, the main reason for lower back pains are the weakness of the muscles. As long as you don't have sciatica or anything like deep going on in terms of like the nerves or maybe the skeleton part, then the muscles are usually the main reasons of the lower back pain because they're weak. So we are basically, by these movements, we are basically strengthening those muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. And you don't need to do this fast. You can actually do it slow. The slower actually is going to be a little bit harder and a little bit more effective. And then perhaps, you can go up to 10 or 15 as much as you can. If it's too much, even 5 would be enough. And then the next pose, which is similar, and we're taking it from here, is that you're going to straighten one leg from here, bring it back up. Let's do it only with the one side. So again, straighten and back up. So it's directly working on those lower back muscles. Bring it back up. And again, bring it back up. So let's continue doing this, maybe for again 5 to 10 rounds, as much as you can. And then you're going to switch. Left side, the same thing. And in between, if you get tired again, please put your feet on the floor and just get a rest, take a break, and then bring it back up. Breathe in and breathe out. And the last one. And great. So again, now hug your knees into your chest, coming to Apanasana, the wind relieving pose. And then the next one is the one which I want to use the strap. It's called Supta Paragusthasana. So you're basically putting your left foot on the floor. Place the strap around the ball mount of your right foot. And then straighten your right leg all the way toward the ceiling. You can wrap your strap around your hands like this. And just keep straightening your leg. So you're pushing your heel out toward the ceiling and trying to push the upper thigh to the front of the room. And again, now if you feel that you still can go deeper, you might want to straighten your left leg on the floor, turn your toes toward the ceiling, and again, you want to flex your ankles. So both ankles are flexed and you're pushing the heels out. Breathe in and breathe out. Staying for one more deep breath. So in each pose, I would recommend to stay for 5 deep breaths. And then you give the straps to your left hand, both sides of the strap to your left hand, and you're going to extend your right hand to the right side as you're going to lower your right leg to the left side of the room. And again, as you can see, you're keeping your legs engaged and flexed, and try to keep your right leg straight. If your right hip is getting off the floor, it's completely fine, and let it happen. So no problem on that area. Basically stretch, and in this pose we are stretching those muscles. We are stretching the lower back muscles, but at the same time a lot of stretch is happening on the piriformis muscles, which are the muscles which are connecting our pelvis to the lower back. A lot of stretch is happening there, and the outer glute side. Breathe in and breathe out. So Supta Paragusthasana, the name of the pose in Sanskrit. These are very common poses also in physiotherapy. If you go for lower back physiotherapy, most probably you're going to get similar poses, if not the same poses. You're going to gently bring your right leg back. Now bend your right knee, takes the strap out. You're going to do this on the left side. You're going to place your strap around the ball mount of your left foot and straighten your left leg all the way toward the ceiling. Wrap your strap around your hands to grab it stronger, and straighten your right leg to the front of the room. You're flexing both ankles, pushing the heels out. Something important here is that you want to grab your strap not from the top completely, that your shoulders get off the floor, and not completely from the bottom, because it's harder. So you want to grab it somewhere from the middle, that you can also keep your shoulders on the floor, as well as like having more control on your left leg. And something important here is that you also want to push your right thigh, the other one which is on the floor, to the floor from the inseam of the right thigh. So this leg is completely flexed and is engaged, and your toes are pointing toward the ceiling. So you preferably try to, if it's like wide open, you want to bring it all the way back. The inner thigh of your right leg is spinning toward the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, after 5 deep breaths, you can give both sides of the strap to your right hand and extend your left hand to the left side of the room. Gently start to descend and lower your left leg all the way to your right side. And again, it's okay if your hips get off the floor, but preferably we want to keep both sides of the shoulders on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Staying here for, again, maybe 5 to 10 deep breaths, depending on how much you can actually hold it there. This is definitely working on those muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you're ready, very gently start to bring your left leg all the way back toward the ceiling. Bend your knee, take your strap, put it on the side. And now keep your left leg on the floor, hug your right knee into your chest. Just press with your hands, you're pressing your right knee into your chest and letting the stretch happen. Just staying here for 5 deep breaths. Flexing both ankles, as you can see my legs, my feet. Breathe in and breathe out. So this is again another stretch happening on the lower back, now on the more on the one side of the body. So you're going to do this on a daily basis to really see the effect. The only way to really heal those muscles, or basically those areas, is to strengthen those muscles through exercise. So let's switch the legs. So again, you're going to hug the left knee into your chest, flexing both ankles, staying here for 5 deep breaths. And again, there is no harm in doing these poses more often than once a day. So if you want to do it even in the morning and in the afternoon, the more you do it, the better the outcome would be. Now, let's go to next pose. So from here, we're going to the bridge pose, or in Sanskrit, we call it Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. It's the next pose which is working on the lower back muscles. So keep your feet, bend your knees, keep your feet parallel to each other, hip width distance. And when you're ready, very gently, you're going to push to the feet and lifting your hips up. So it doesn't matter if you're pushing to the hips and lifting the hips up. So it doesn't matter if your hips doesn't come all the way up. Even if it comes to here halfway, it's still good. Even if it's just 1 inch above the ground, it's still good. So don't try to push yourself too much. Just let this transformation happens gradually. So again, you're going to lift your hips up, and either you're going to grab the sides of your mat with your both hands as a support, or you can interlace your fingers behind your tailbone and start to maybe tuck the basically roll the upper shoulders underneath your body. So this helps us to open the chest also while we're in this pose. But the more focus is on the lower back muscles. And few things to know here is that you don't want your legs to open up, so please keep them parallel to each other like this. And imagine that the inner thigh muscles are spinning toward the floor, and the outer thighs muscles are hugging toward the midline. This actually helps you to stabilize in this pose. Breathe in and breathe out. And again, bridge pose is a great pose. If you get tired, just lower yourself down, maybe take a break for maybe 1 or 2 breaths, and again you can push and come back up. So don't be hard on yourself, just do it gradually, take your time, but just know that these will work and you will get the result that you want if you practice it continuously. And then very gently lower yourself down. So you can actually stack your knees next to each other for the last pose that you want to do on this sequence. So stack them together, maybe hug them into your chest, and then lower them all the way to your right side as you're extending your left hand to the left side of the room. This is a reclining twist. It's another stretch happening on the lower back and the sides of the body. And again, remember, you want to stay here 5 to 10 breaths. This is yoga. There's no rush. If you have limited time, you can do it a little bit faster. However, what is more important than our health and our body? If we cannot prioritize maybe 15 to 20 minutes of our day for these practices. And then very gently bring them all the way back to back to the center. They're still stacked. And lower the knees to the left side. Extend your right arm to the right side of the room. Breathe in and breathe out. Reclining twists, staying for 5 deep breaths. These are the poses that I practice, or actually I teach in every yoga session that I teach. Either at the beginning of the class or toward the end of the class, we always use some of these poses. And that's why yoga is an art of longevity, just because you're always moving the joints, moving the muscles. Let's come back to the center. And then as the last part of this sequence, just put your feet on the floor, keep them as wide as your mat, maybe double the size of your hips. Open your arms to the sides and gently start to lower your knees to the right, and then bring them back to the center, lower the knees to the left. This is called Windshield Wiper. And again, right and left. You can do this as much as you want. Again, there is no harm in this. Depending on how much tightness and pain you feel, you might want to reduce the number of the times or the pace. And eventually, you're going to just roll yourself to one side and gently come to the seated position. So we are done with our short sequence for the lower back muscles. I hope that this will become useful for you and you get the result that you want. Please DM me or comment comment me if you have any question here. And I also appreciate your subscription to my channel, and just be aware that I have a weekly yoga sessions consisting of the same poses on a regular basis. And if you want to get information on that, please go to my website at elnazyoga360.com. Thank you. Till the next video.